Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week we're making big plans for a small patio and a young family who loves to entertain outdoors.
No, never to give me too much slack.
Gotta keep you on a short leash.
What do you think so far?
Unbelievable.
Justin and Leah bought this house 3 years ago. The massive backyard was a plus because they have 4 young children. If Leah looks familiar, it's because she made an appearance in a recent episode with her younger sister, Jessica.
Danny and Chelsea did an outdoor play area at my sister's house, and I got to see that, and I helped out a little bit with that, and so I'm super excited to see what they're going to do in our backyard. I think the backyard is big, but the patio is not laid out very well. We feel cramped in there.
It'd be great if we could kind of compartmentalize, kind of an entertaining space, maybe a children's space. My job is in campus ministry, so we have college students in our lives, in our home all the time.
It's just not conducive to what we need.
What about cleaning up the patio itself? Is that something you would want to do?
Absolutely, yeah. With the kids, we're behind on everything.
And this is very common to have cracks in a patio like this, but there's a very interesting way to make it look like it's just about brand new.
Okay.
So we might consider
I
that.
will say what I really want to do is tear down that brick wall.
You want to tear down something already.
I'm not opposed to that
And
at
just
all.
open it up into the backyard.
I think that's another thing too, when we have a lot of people over, it's where do you go, where do you hang out? If we had this open, I feel like it would feel more spacious.
Yeah.
And even storage-wise, like there's nowhere to put anything. We leave this ice chest out here because there's just nowhere to put anything.
Well, one of the things that's kind of neat when you have a wall like this, it's built-in seating. I'm
Yes,
sure when you have
yes,
people over,
that's right.
everybody's sitting there, but it seems like you could use even a little bit more with the one table. Because if you put a bunch of tables out here, it just takes up all the space. So maybe we can incorporate something else around here. You got some
ready
ideas?
to get my hands dirty.
Besides removing part of the brick wall to open up the space, we'll resurface the patio, add a bar height counter along the fence for more serving area, and hang a shade sail overhead that will also support a string of lights. When we return to start work, the first job is clearing out the space.
Do the kids have any idea what's going on?
We told them a
They
little
do.
bit.
I hope they don't think we're building them a big climbing wall.
They're excited to see what you'll do. I'm not gonna lie, my kids were a little jealous when they found out that we got the patio versus a kids area, but we're only a street away, so they can go over there anytime and play on the fun stuff that Danny and Chelsea did over there.
If you're not going to use the misting system, we'll go ahead and take it down. So Chelsea, if you want to do that.
That old thing would either barely get you wet at all or it drenched our guests, and so I was happy to see that misting system go.
Well, you'll be surprised when we knock all of these bricks down how much this will open it up, because you've got a pretty good surface there. If we kind of combine that surface together, I think it'll make it feel like it's a lot bigger out here.
Great, yeah, we need to open it up. That'll be good.
What we don't know is whether or not this is sitting on a concrete footing and they poured this later. I suspect that they poured this and then put the bricks on top of the ledge. That's what we want.
Yeah.
And then when we do the resurfacing, whatever discoloration or a little bit of damage we have in there, we can cover all of that up. So
Great, that's gonna be good.
Here's your batting practice for the day.
All right. I played baseball through college and found out I got to use a sledgehammer and knock down a brick wall. It was right up my alley.
Hopefully this will hey, that's a good sign, good sign. So you see the whole thing vibrating?
Yeah. So Danny actually gave me a tip. He said, swing a baseball bat, you kind of swing through the ball, but with the sledgehammer, you want to stop the hammer right on the brick, and that knocks it down easier, kind of gives it more force behind it.
Dad, you always point the wheelbarrow in the direction that you're going.
Oh, you were listening. That's good. There you go. Well, now, the other thing is whoever carries the wheelbarrow loads the wheelbarrow.
Oh, man.
Great, great. These things are coming down real easy.
I wasn't sold on opening up the patio because I really like that brick wall for some reason.
Once Justin hit that and it came down, it immediately opened up the space and I loved it.
And it is right on top of the slab, isn't it? Great.
Perfect.
That's good. Otherwise, we would have to build that up. Now that resurfacer will come right out and no one will ever know.
I love wooden lawn furniture. Plastic furniture might require less maintenance, but it's hard to beat the natural beauty of wood. But wood has one disadvantage, and it's down here where the leg sits on the ground. The end grain of the wood acts like a sponge and sucks up moisture, and that can cause all kinds of problems, from blistered paint and water staining to wood rot eventually, even if you're using pressure-treated wood. So here's the solution. Use epoxy to seal the bottom of each leg. Buy an epoxy syringe, such as this, that mixes the two parts as it comes out. You just squeeze it out. The epoxy will come right out through. You can see it mixing in the tip, and you squeeze it right onto the leg. Don't need that much, just enough to coat the entire bottom of the leg. Then take a putty knife and smooth it out. You want to wipe it all off, obviously. You just want to, there you go, just like that. Then you can wipe off the excess with a rag. And now if you do that to the bottom, seal the bottom of each leg, this lawn furniture will last a whole lot longer.
We're helping Justin and Leah renovate their patio to make it more friendly for entertaining. Justin and I have knocked out part of a brick wall to open up the space, and Chelsea and Leah are cleaning up the space with a pressure washer.
My favorite part about all of this was the pressure washer. Seeing the dirt and the grime and the green stuff growing, and then just immediate gratification of seeing it so beautiful.
A lot of times homeowners have the tendency to just go all over with the sprayer, but in this situation it really helps to be methodical about how you spray and stay in straight lines. That way you know if you missed a spot or not.
I love pressure washing. I could do that all day.
Meanwhile, I'm getting some mortar mix ready to repair the damaged brick wall.
You know, a lot of times when you're doing any kind of brick laying or brick repair, you have to bring out a load of sand, either having it delivered or bring it out on a trailer. Then you have to have the mortar mix. Then you have to make sure that you have the right ratio of sand and mortar. With pre-mixed mortar like this, you don't have to worry about that at all. Just make sure you put enough water in it for the right working consistency. So what we'll do is we'll just put mortar in here, and because it's so thick, just let it sit for just a little while before we put the bricks in it. While I'm doing that and getting things ready, I'm going to set you up with this fancy thing here. That is to go along, and you can try all kinds of little tools, but the best thing, work with just your hands and fill in every little crack and crevice that you see to keep water out of it. I see several here, and you want to make sure you keep it up, you know, off the concrete there.
In addition to a few small repairs, I also have to create a new brick column to finish out the new opening we created. To prepare it for resurfacing, Chelsea and Leah also pressure wash the patio before they get started on the decorative fence wall.
Why are we putting these on the...
Okay, you know we're copying your sister's deck. Very similar,
yeah.
with the horizontal boards.
Love
We're going
this.
to do ours a little bit bigger, but this gives us something to nail them to.
Okay, I love those, that's fun. And I just think mine might look a little bit better than hers, but I probably won't tell her, you know, we'll just keep that between us. I just hold them here.
Yeah, and then maybe just kind of hold your hand up or something.
Need a little flag or something. Hey, I'm secure with my height.
I should have set her up with a ladder first. That would have been the nice thing to do. The screws aren't going to come through, so I'm not gonna worry about
Losing a finger.
By the end of the day, the fence is ready for siding, the brickwork is complete, and the whole space is clean. At the beginning of day 2, we're ready to make the fence look like a wall.
I'll keep bringing the wood to you, and Chelsea will tell you exactly what to do here.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. That's a little intimidating. When I first saw that nail gun, I'm like, I cannot do this. This thing is as big as one of my kids. How am I gonna hold this up? Is this gonna go through the fence and shoot the person on the other side? I was intimidated when I saw it. Nailed it.
Gotta keep my ears open in case you have any good jokes coming up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got one.
No, not you.
Oh.
I think I might go purchase one of those guns and keep it around the house for later. I will find some way to use that gun. It's awesome. I'm getting one.
Occasionally there's a board that's warped or bowed, so to avoid large gaps, we nail one end and pry the other one into position before nailing it. Near the bottom of the wall, we discover that we don't have room behind the brick column to nail the last few boards.
Dad, you did so good building that last brick column. I think we should take this one out and you can rebuild it.
No, we're not rebuilding columns, but I have a solution.
A simple solution?
Mm-hmm. Construction adhesive fixes everything.
I'm always scared for the homeowners when Dad gets the construction adhesive out.
Oh, here you go. It's all you need.
All right. Is someone gonna have to stand here and hold it until it dries?
No,
Because if so, I volunteer you.
No, I'm gonna wedge your board in there. Reminds me of peanut butter.
Fall onto your patio or something.
I really would like some peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now.
Usually, I'm the one making the food references out of construction materials. Dad missed the day in kindergarten where they teach you that a little dab will do ya.
Everybody knows more is better.
Jessica did say her favorite thing was the nail gun.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, she liked it.
She didn't even get to use this big
Oh, she
giant
didn't?
one, so
Okay.
you're like, you know, more advanced than she
Yep,
is.
I am.
After I wedge a 2x4 behind the column to hold the boards, the girls continue working on the rest of the fence,
Come on, Joe, these are the French doors I was telling you about right here.
while I set up a surprise for Leah.
Who's that guy?
Dad didn't tell you?
No.
Phantom Screens, one of our friends, is going to install some retractable screens inside your French doors. So you'll be able to open the doors, close the screens, and get a nice little breeze in the house.
Okay, that's amazing. We're getting a screen. I had no idea. I was so excited and a little bit nervous though. What is it gonna look like? Those doors open out. Where's the screen gonna go?
Those outswinging doors can be a problem for some retractable screens, but our Phantom rep, Joe, has a low-profile system that mounts on the inside. For double French doors like these, the installer combines two single units that meet and latch in the middle, so the whole 6-foot opening is protected by a screen that disappears completely when not in use.
Now that the warm weather is here, it's important to get your lawn and your garden prepped just perfectly so they can be lush and green or bountiful for you for the summer. Now, when you're spreading seed or fertilizer, there are a couple of different options to spread those. I've got them laid out here. First of all, this is pretty common, is the walk behind, and as you push it, it starts to broadcast or spread out the fertilizer or the seed evenly. Now, you can also do a handheld. The only downside though is with this one, you have to kind of crank it so that you can spread your fertilizer or your seed. Well, what if you married the two where it's easy to operate but you're not wearing yourself out? Scott's has come out with this handheld. Now this is perfect because all you got to do is pull the trigger, and because it runs on battery, it will distribute your fertilizer and your seed evenly. It also has a setting, so depending upon what you are going to be spreading, it has the proper dial for even distribution. And also, it carries twice as much seed or fertilizer in its well than other handhelds. So if you want a lush or bountiful garden this summer, spreading out your fertilizer or your seed with one of these is definitely the way to go.
We're making progress on Justin and Leah's patio space.
All right, we can get this in place and we can make you decide on the height of this thing.
The shorter one.
Well, I didn't say that.
I was a little nervous when Danny gave Leah the right to decide how tall the bar would be.
It wasn't a short joke, really.
I like being short.
Now that's one way to do it. You can go down to 36, which is like a countertop height.
But I feel like if you're standing
If you're standing, this
out here and you want
this
to
is
set
pretty
something
close.
down,
Yeah.
well,
Okay. Okay, so we'll let this finish off then at 42.
yeah,
Okay.
I like that. I
Okay,
think
perfect.
that's good.
As soon as we get the top nailed down, Leah's sister Jessica arrives to help her start staining the wall and countertop.
You guys put these boards up? Nail gun?
Nail gun it. Hey, which I mean, I thought you were going to be the nail gun expert. However, Chelsea told me that I got to use the bigger nail gun.
Come on, come on.
So I'm now the pro.
The counters on the other side of the gate are a little more complicated because they wrap around the corner and onto the siding of the house. We're also using the pressure-treated lumber to build a small stand that will bring Justin and Leah's cooler up to countertop height. Once that's all complete, we're ready to attack the patio.
One thing is inevitable is that concrete will crack. If you have a concrete patio, it may look this bad, and you'll be surprised at how simple the process is to make this look almost like it's brand new.
You begin by cleaning out all of the debris from these crevices so that the patching material can attach itself well to the concrete. In this case, we're using Quikrete concrete resurfacer to repair the cracks and to coat the patio. For the cracks, I'm using a trowel to force the material into the voids and smooth off the surface. Once that dries, we mix up another batch of resurfacer, this time a little thinner for coating the slab. Justin pours it directly onto the concrete while I begin spreading it with a squeegee to create an even layer, about 1/8 of an inch thick, over the whole patio.
You gonna get your tape measure out and measure 1/8 of an inch?
I can feel it.
Okay.
Why don't you look at that right there? Look how cool that is. You know, using a big rubber squeegee like that to spread out the resurfacer, I gotta admit, that's pretty fun.
When the material begins to thicken up, I drag a broom across the surface to give it a skid-resistant finish. This becomes more tricky as we pull the broom over the longer distance, and we have to improvise a bit to make it work.
Okay, give me some slack.
Okay.
We're coming. No, not that much slack. Pull it up, pull it up. Pull it up.
Sorry. I was flying a kite.
You know never to give me too much slack.
Gotta keep you on a short leash. I like that I am in control of the string, which really limits how much he can move around. So he's on a short leash.
You know, it really is pretty amazing, isn't it?
It really does look like we just poured a new slab.
I know it. And all of this work in just a couple hours.
And we'll be able to walk on it in a couple hours.
I know it. We'll finish this whole thing up tomorrow.
I'm so excited.
Because the resurfacer is thicker where the cracks were repaired, those areas remain darker than the rest of the patio. As it fully cures over the next month, those lines will fade away. Now we need to get our sailcloth shade started.
If you will grab a couple of these, the drill, some screws, and then we'll stretch this thing out and see what happens. So I think I'm so close to this edge, I'll just attach right to the edge.
Right.
We'll stretch it that way as much as we need
Okay.
to, and then it's just a matter of stretching it that way.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, well let me get this tied in here.
The anchor point we're attaching to the fascia board and the turnbuckle used to tension the sail are all stainless steel. That's important because you don't want this stuff rusting after 1 or 2 seasons. While Justin and I set the post for the final anchor point, Chelsea and Leah are prepping the old metal fire pit for painting.
Well, $6 can of spray paint will give it a few more years of life, hopefully.
Save everything until it completely has no use anymore. So some rusted, some glued on marshmallow there.
Oh,
So
yum.
I think we got that when we first got married 13 years ago, and so many marshmallows have been melted on that, and I think many more will be able to now.
Finally, the shade sail is ready to go up in the air. All it needs is a little tension to finish the job.
I know how much you love the power washer out back and on the patio.
You're leaving it for me.
I'm sorry, but we had to take it with us.
Take it.
But I'm gonna leave you with something else to clean the front of your house. It'll help take care of the mold and algae and mildew on the siding and the bricks.
But does it work as good as a pressure washer?
It does, and it uses the weather. You don't have to use a power washer with it. It uses the weather to clean it, and it'll help prevent it from coming back. And you don't have to get on a ladder because it can spray a really long way.
So I could spray
So
the
you
top
can
of my
spray
house?
it, exactly.
While Leah stays busy with her new Wet and Forget sprayer, Chelsea begins dressing out the patio to wrap up this project.
We didn't exactly plan it this way, but the sunshade gives us the perfect place to hang our string lights.
Justin and Leah have an enormous backyard, but it worked far better as a play space for the kids than an entertaining area, something they do often. So we removed part of the brick border wall to open up the space and resurface the patio to give it a nice clean look. The retractable screens we added to the French doors blur the line between inside and outside entertaining, and what was just a privacy fence is now an attractive paneled wall with a new bar height counter that wraps around 2 sides of the patio. The sailcloth we hung overhead provides shade by day and some much needed light after the sun goes down. Plus, we made some great new friends now who have a little more confidence in their home improvement skills.
Yeah, little home improvements don't seem so intimidating, where before we didn't know how to do them, we didn't even know where to start, and now I feel like we can maybe tackle something together and do a not so bad job. We love it. It's awesome. So just the opening up, taking out that brick gives so much more space for so many more people to be in there. It doesn't feel crowded or cut off, like where do I go, where should I stand?
Yeah, I'd say visually it's amazing. It looks so much better back there.
Yeah, I love the shelves on the little bar area where people can set their drinks and their food, so it's not just all over scattered on the yard.
It's perfect for what we do.
For a little more than $1,100, Justin and Leah now have a patio that's a lot more open, a lot more functional, and a lot more attractive. And you know what that means? It's going to lead to a lot more fun for their family and all the friends they plan on gathering around.
It makes me want to try a few more things. It gives me a little more confidence to, you know.
Way to go!
Oh
Then this was all worth it. All worth it.
That is.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week here on Today's Homeowner. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around, and continue the home improving fun.